up here. Hold on one second. I just turned my computer on, so I'm running a scotch late today. But it looks like I'm a little early here, so that's good. Maybe that'll put me here on time. Let's see here. Let's see if we're live, see if we've got a good picture. Let me just do this. If you're on tonight, give me a shout out. Let me know you're watching. I think I got it going here. Let's see. All right. Good evening. Happy Sunday. This is Tara with Tarabeth Stamps. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator here in Mid-Missouri. And okay, good. We've got a good picture, except you got my cup in there, so we can move that out. Tonight, I'm doing a fun fold. I'm doing a double Z fold. Oh, hey, Carol. Hey, Amy. Thanks for joining. Yay, we're right on time. Yes, thank you. So we're doing a Z fold. We're using that sophisticated Sled bundle. This is an online exclusive bundle. So just a double Z fold, just a cute little fun card. I love these skates, so I have to use them as much as possible. So we are going to get to it. I'm a little out of breath. I've been up here getting ready. Hey, Sharon, thanks so much for joining. Been up here getting ready. I was scrapping all weekend with some girlfriends, so I am a scotch behind on getting this live ready. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull out my Simply Score tool. And I always grab the wrong take your pick tool every time. I've got two. So I have a piece of 5.5 by 8.5. So just a standard card base. And this is Cherry Cobbler. So what I'm first going to do is I'm going to score this at 2 1/8. And I'm going to score at 4 1/4. So those are super easy. That's just basically a regular score mark at the halfway point and then a half again on the front side. So that's super easy. Now we have a piece of 3 1/4 by 6 3/4, and we're going to score those each at 2 1/4 and 4 1/2. So once again, these are basically taking this 3 piece, dividing it up into 3. So 6 3/4 gives you 2 1/4 for each panel. And that's all the scoring we have to do for that card. All right. Let's see here. I'm a little warm, guys. I've been running around. We unpacking, getting things ready. I'm going out of town again this week. So it's been, I got a lot going on. How about you? Are you enjoying? We had beautiful weather here today. It rained and stormed. Hey, Rosie, thanks for joining. It rained and stormed all weekend where I was at until today. And I'm telling you, the sun came out, and I understand why people love fall. I still don't like it, but I can understand it. Okay, so I'm going to take this card base. I'm going to fold it in half and give it a nice little burnish. And then I'm going to fold it back again on itself, and I'm going to burnish it again. So that's given that Z fold look. See, kind of looks like a Z. So that's the reason that we call it a double Z fold. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this other panel, and I'm going to score it at the, what I would call the last score line. So this is going to be on the back. Hey, Laura D, thanks for joining, and Johnny. So I folded it once, and we're going to give a good burnish. And then we're going to fold it back again and give it a good burnish. All right, so this is going to be the contraption that opens that card. So see right there. So there's another Z. So you get this Z, I guess it's this Z, and then this Z. So that's why, hey, Karen K, you're not late. You're just on time. Thanks for joining. Okay, now let's see here. What should we do? Let's do a little adhering and getting the card base ready, I think. So what I've done is I've cut a couple of old olive mats, and I've got some of that beautiful wood burnish look from the Country Woods collection. And just to let you know, this is going to be on sale 20% off starting Wednesday, I believe. Is that right? It's the 13th through the 16th. So it's tomorrow. Yes, so that's Wednesday through Friday. You're going to get 20% off all the DSP that is in the annual catalog. Annual catalog only, guys. So if it's a online exclusive, or if it is a winter catalog, the September to December catalog item, that's not going to be included. However, you're going to get the DSP. You're also going to get 10% off any inks, refills, and I shouldn't say any inks. So Stampin' Up inks. So Memento, Versamark, those are not included. Hey, Margaret, thanks for joining. I'm so glad you're watching. Okay, now we're going to take these card bases, and we're out of seal. It's a good thing I have a second one. All right, we're going to put this one on the front. So this is going on that front Z. So Stampin' Up inks, their refills and markers are going to be 10% off. So they're not quite 20% off like the DSP, but they are 10% off, which is a really great savings. Great time to stock up. Great time to grab those re-inkers if you don't already have them, because you never know when that ink pad that you get that's always super juicy is not juicy anymore. Hey, Rosie, thanks so much. Yeah, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you'll know when I'm going live. And then we're going to put this back panel on here. So let's see here. There's one more thing. Oh, Stampin' Up punch and die bundles will be on sale. Those are going to be 20% off. So you already save 10% from when you buy them in general. But now you're going to save an extra 10%. So a total of 20% off. Okay, so there's our card base. But base Z. So there's Z1. So this is why it's called a double Z card. Now let's bring in a couple of pieces of basic white. So these are 3 5/8 by 2 1/8. And I cut 3 of them. One of them I ran through my embossing machine with the Snowflake Falls embossing folder. So I already did that. That's going to go on the front. And then, so in my original, I did Balmy Blue, but I'm going to pull Boho Blue because I feel like Boho Blue goes a little bit better with Cherry Cobbler. So I'm just going to stamp these snowflakes randomly. And so this is the stamp from the Sophisticated Sled bundle that I'm using. I'll just do one more. So there's a little snow falling. So we'll put that Boho Blue away. Let's see if I did that right. Let's do Cherry Cobbler. Yep, and Boho Blue is complimentary. Maybe. No? I don't know how I use that. I'm going to have to look that up. I'll get back with you on that. All right. And then we'll do the Cherry Cobbler. So I need to work with my color wheel. All right. So I'm inking this sentiment up with Cherry Cobbler, and it is kind of a tight fit. So I'm going to pull this towards me to make sure I get it in there. Let me line that up. So it's a tight fit, but it does fit. All right, so now we can adhere all of these pieces. So make sure that you have, this is going to lay flat. So this is where our sentiment's going to go, and this is going to be the folding mechanism. So you may want to put it on here before you adhere so that you can get your orientation correct. Ask me how I know. Yep, I've glued more than one down the wrong direction. So then you've got to take your pick tool out, pull it off. Hey, Carol, thanks for joining. Thank you so much. So we're just going to line that up, giving just a little bit. Ooh, well, I just smudged my Cherry Cobbler. I didn't let it set long enough. So yes, when you use a pigment ink that's kind of dark, Night of Navy, Cherry Cobbler, those dark colors, you kind of got to let them sit for a minute so that they don't smear when you run your finger across them. All right, now I'm going to be careful and not use that same finger so I don't rub Cherry Cobbler ink across there. Have an ink catastrophe. All right, so now I'm going to take that embossed panel, and once again, that was with the Snowflake Sky embossing folder. And we're going to set that together. And there's our little mechanism. Okay, now because this is a mechanism, I'm going to use Stampin' Seal Plus because I feel like that's adheres just a little bit better. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to open it up and I'm going to find the middle of the card as well as I can. I'm going to seal that down, shut my flap, and there we go. So I want to be careful and only add adhesive to one side, that side that's going to stick down here. Because if you don't, then it's going to not open up. So there's the Z again, double Z. Okay, so now let's get to the fun part. So I've got some die cuts that I've already done. This is all from the Sophisticated Sled. Now my original has silver foil, but I'm going to be honest with you, I couldn't find a big piece of my silver foil, so I cut my blades. I thought those were the ones I needed the most, although I don't even see them. Where are my blades? No, no. This is what I get for cutting things so last minute. Well, we may have to do without the blades. We may just have to color them. I'm going to improvise. That's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to lose sleep over this. All right. So when you have your die cuts, sometimes you have to go ahead and poke some of these little spots out. So I use my Take Your Pick tool, and this one I found is a little fussier than most. So I go ahead and pop out all of that stuff, and then I'm going to add some dimensionals. If I can find some. There we go. And I'm going to be very careful. And let's see here. How do I want to do this? Dimensional. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a dimensional. I'm going to turn it that way. I'm going to do one right there in the center. And then I'm going to do one up here at the top. And this way, oh, I think I want that one at the bottom. Let's put that one at the bottom. So this way, when I set my sled top on here, I can line it up, and then the dimensional is connected, but it's not showing, if that makes a whole lot of sense. Rosie, they are on my die cut machine. I just looked over. That's what I went, ha ha ha, because I know where they're at now. I see them. So we are going to have blades. So funny. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little bit of seal. I think I'm going to use the Stampin' Seal Plus, and I'm just going to run it along these lines that are hidden, and I'm going to set my sled right there a little cockeyed because this isn't a super large space. Now, I don't know what I did with my Take Your Pick tool. Man, I'm scattered tonight. I'm sorry. Okay, now I'm going to take a little liquid adhesive right here, and I am going to put it on the back of this greenery. Now, I didn't use a whole lot, and I'm only using it in the center because I really only want it attached at the center. I kind of want it to flow a little bit. So there's that. And now I'm going to carefully cut dimensionals to be super tiny. So I've got a couple, looks like already cut. Oh, no. So what I like to do on these is do like these little side pieces when I'm cutting, because I'm going to use this whole thing. I'm never going to throw any of that adhesive away. I like to get the most bang out of my buck. So I'm setting that there, and then we'll do one more kind of over here. And I'm kind of doing it in the center because I'm going to put one of those great big clusters embellishments, so then hopefully you won't see too much of it. All right, so you can see some of it peeping through there a little bit, but that's okay because We're going to add stuff to the end. Okay. Oh, no, I didn't put this piece on. Ah, what was I thinking? That's okay. That's what tweezers are for. Tweezers will, to get that right back down there. So we're going to take another one of these tiny dimensionals that I cut. And then I'll peel that off and stick that on the back. So I'm going to be real careful so it's not going to peek through. And then I'm going to take my tweezers and just kind of slide these through. So I'm lifting up my greenery and set that right there. See, we didn't even notice it was not there. Okay, now I've cut a piece of cherry cobbler, and once again I'm poking out all of these little bits that my die cut didn't pull out for my laces. And we're going to use that nemesis of mine, that green glue. So I'm pulling all of that out. And then I've got another piece right here. So we've got our 2 skates that we're doing. And we got to make sure that we put the laces on. I made one card without the laces, and I was like, you got to have the laces. And sometimes these little ones can be finicky. There we go. They're all coming out now. So yes, don't miss the seasonal sale. If you use my host code, you'll get a PDF from me as well as another gift for a $50 purchase with a card class in there. And some other little goodies that I'll throw in as well. Okay, so now here are my skates. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up my laces, and you kind of pop this open a little bit at that seam, because those laces are going to go right along in there. I'm going to put a little bit of that glue in there. I'm going to pop those laces in, just kind of slide them into place, and then seal it together. So you'll see there's a little bit of adhesive oozing out, but it's on the back, so it doesn't matter. Okay, so I'll do that again. Pop that open just a little bit. Take your laces and your adhesive in this. You take your liquid adhesive, just a small amount. There's a lot on that. It's going to be gooey. I'm going to pop this open and then seal those laces right down there like that. And there we go. Now, hold on one second, because I got to grab them. Oh no, they're not here. That's my sled. I really don't have my sled, my blades. Pooh. All right. We're going to use dark smoky slate here, and then hopefully I can find it and glue it on later. But sometimes you're not going to have so that doesn't look too bad. I actually kind of like it like that. The silver foil definitely makes it pop, but this is not bad, just coloring the bottom of it. And I'm using dark smoky slate. So this is what you do when you have your supplies. Never think you can't do something because you have to have exactly the same. Work with what you've got. Okay, I'm going to line this up here just a little bit. And then I'm going to use a dimensional on this guy with all the glue. And I'm going to slap that dimensional there. So yeah, we can't all get everything that we want with our supplies. So you kind of got to just work with what you got and make it work. All right, I'm going to slide that over just a little bit so my greenery covers it up. Now, I stamped the Good Tidings from the Sophisticated Sleds with Versamark and used the Wow White embossing powder. And then I cut out, I love this tag, and this is from the seasonal Peaceful Seasons set. So if you don't have that, grab that, because that's going to be a perfect all-around die cut for sentiments. It's perfect. It and the Greetings of the Seasons are my two favorite from all of the Christmas line that Stampin' Up has. So I'm just using some dimensionals to peel this off and slide that on right there. All right, so now all we have to do is put on some of these cherry cobbler and pearl adhesive berries. So I'm going to use my take your pick tool for these guys. So I'm going to pull up one of the berry clusters and put that at the top to cover up all that adhesive that we had. See, now you can't see those dimensionals because I've covered it up. And then we'll just use a couple of the small ones. These are so pretty. I'd love to see these carry over because they are just stunning. All right, so there's today's card. Beautiful, sophisticated Sled Z-fold, double Z-fold card. Thanks so much for spending your Sunday night with me. I will not be here next Sunday night. I'm going to be on my way back from Georgia. If I'm home at 7 o'clock, I'll be exhausted, but I don't think I'll even be home. So thank you so much. Make sure you check out my Facebook and blog for information on the seasonal sale for this week, and have an amazing week.